Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hope you're doing well. I thought we might start lying down this morning. So feel free to come to lie down, or of course, if you prefer to sit, that's absolutely fine. Don't need anything in particular for your practice this morning, just yourself and your mat. If you're feeling a little bit cold, perhaps a blanket or a shawl to wrap around you. So yeah, let's start off in a reclined position or just sitting quietly. You might like to close the eyes, sigh the breath away 2 or 3 times. So just settling into this present moment. And you might like to begin by saying to yourselves a few times, may my body anchor me. May my breath carry me. May my mind steady me. May I return to who I am. May my body anchor me. May my breath carry me. May my mind steady me. May I return to who I am. May my body anchor me. May my breath carry me. May my mind steady me. May I return to who I am. So as you lie down or sit on your yoga mat this morning, acknowledge that the next 75 minutes is an opportunity to pause from your day-to-day life and dive deep within to reconnect with your authentic self. Beneath the surface layers of your skin, beneath your name, your personality, your work, your family, the many stories you tell yourselves and others about who you are. Our yoga practice is one place where we can truly stop and come home, where we can turn within and connect with the witnessing aspect of ourselves. Truth resides here. Wisdom resides here. In an ancient text, the Ashtavakra Gita, it says, the self is the witness, all-pervading, perfect, free, one consciousness, actionless, not attached to any object, desireless, ever tranquil. And in the book Be Love Now by Ram Dass, which I'm reading at the moment, the author says one of the first steps in getting free of the attachment to ego is to develop a witness. We have thousands and thousands of me's, but there is one me that is separate and watches all the other me's. It's on a different level of consciousness. It's not just another role. This witness is your leverage in the game. The witness me isn't trying to change any of the other me's. It's not an evaluator or a judge. It doesn't care about anything. It just observes. That witnessing place inside you is a centering device, a rudder. The witness is part of your soul. It's witnessing your incarnation, this lifetime. It's the beginning of discrimination between your soul and your ego, your real self and your self in the incarnation. Once you begin to live in this witness place, you begin to shift your identification from the roles and thought forms. As you witness yourself, the process becomes more like watching a movie than being a central character in one. So to assist us to connect with the witness, we might imagine that we are divided into two parts, A and B. A is the witness hovering a meter or so above us, watching, observing everything that B does, thinks, says, feels. So as we practice this morning, you might like to imagine that your witness is hovering above you, watching how you breathe, how you move, aware of how you are feeling and what you are thinking. Whenever you get caught in a story or get distracted and drift into the past or the future, endeavor to reconnect back with this witness part of you, detaching from the dramas, the stories, the thoughts and feelings. So we're going to just start off with some very gentle warm-up movement. If you're in a seated position, I'll invite you now to come to lie down. And let's just all stretch the legs out along the mat if that's okay for the lower back. If you've got a blanket over you, just free your arms out to the sides. We'll begin by exhaling completely. And then on your next inhalation, just allowing the arms to flow up and overhead, having a lovely stretch from fingertip to toe tip. And as you exhale, lowering the arms. So synchronizing this movement with your breath, long, smooth inhalation, raising the arms overhead, and a long, slow exhalation. Good. So just continue in your own time, allowing the breath to be slow, allowing the breath to be deep. You might like to add the words, I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Just do a few more in your own time, linking breath and movement together. So after this one, we'll do one more. When you finish, just take a resting breath, let everything go. And then we'll work with our dynamic leg lock pose. So again, we're stretching the arms up overhead, pointing the toes. But this time as we exhale, we're drawing the right knee in, option to lift the head to the knee if that's okay for your neck. Otherwise, just keep the head down. On the next inhalation, stretch the leg away, arms up and overhead. And again, as we exhale, drawing the right knee in. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, drawing the knee in towards the center of the belly, unless there's any discomfort, and then it can go out more towards the armpit. Inhaling, stretching long and tall. And exhale. And the last one. So now we'll go straight onto the left side, breathing in. And this time we're drawing the left knee in. So 4 more of these. The breath is long and slow and deep. Three more. When you finish that last one on the left side, stretch the legs away, arms up and overhead. Now keep the head down, draw both knees in. Give yourselves a lovely hug and let's rock from side to side. You might like to see if you can rock right over to your elbow and then use the elbow to help push you back to center and to the other side. Back to center. On the next inhale, stretch your legs up to the sky. Arms lifting up and overhead. Toes are turned back towards you, pushing the heels up towards the sky. And exhale, draw the knees in again. Option to lift the head to the knees. Inhaling, stretching the legs up. Arms lifting up and overhead. And exhaling. Let's do 3 more. Inhaling as you look up, you might give your witness that's hovering up there a little smile, acknowledging the witness's presence. 2 more. Good. Now we're dropping the feet down to the mat, palms alongside your hips and lifting up into bridge. Perhaps just lifting halfway the first few times as we warm the body up, and exhale, lowering down, draw the knees in. So legs to the sky, arms up and overhead. Press the lower back down, tuck the chin forward. Exhale, draw the knees in. Lower your feet to the mat and inhale, lift your hips. Again, not feeling you have to go the full way these first few times. Just slowly warming up the back, the spine. Draw the knees in. Legs to the sky. Exhale. Drop the feet and lift your hips. Let's do 2 more, then we're adding on. The legs to the sky. Lift the hips. All right. As you take the legs up to the sky this time, you might like to take the legs wide apart. And draw the knees in, feet to the mat, lifting into bridge. And lowering down. Now we're adding a twist. So as we inhale, arms go out to shoulder height, feet stay on the mat, and exhale, knees over to the right side. Perhaps turning the head to the left. Let's stay here for 1 breath. Then returning your knees to center, and knees over to the left side, head to the right, and we'll stay for a breath. Back to center, and give yourselves a hug. So we'll do 2 more of these. So legs to the sky, perhaps wide apart, pushing the heels up, toes back towards you. Exhale, draw the knees in. Feet to the mat. Inhale, lifting into bridge, Setu Bandhasana. And rolling down. Raising your arms out to the side as you breathe in, and knees over to the right. Let's stay for 2 breaths this time, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing the face, the mouth. Coming back to center. And knees over to the left. 2 breaths. Back to sit. Knees in. So last one. Legs to the sky, perhaps wide apart. And draw in. Feet to the mat. Lifting the hips. And lower. Breathing your arms out to shoulder height. And knees to the right, head may go to the left. 3 breaths this time. Returning the knees to center. And knees to the left, head may turn to the right. 3 breaths. Let's bring the knees into the chest. This time we're crossing the legs at the ankles, a hand on each knee, and making some nice slow circles with the lower back. So another little practice we can work with to help us to disidentify from our thoughts and our feelings and the stories and the roles that we identify with in life is to work with a little Sanskrit phrase. And this is actually from the Upanishads, and it can be used as a bit of a sort of a meditative inquiry. And the phrase is neti neti. So whenever you find yourself sort of getting a bit distracted, caught up in a story, or rehashing something, going over something, or feeling, or even, strongly identifying with a role, you can work with this phrase, neti, neti. And it can be translated as not this, not that. Neti, neti, not this, not that. It's a way of helping us to remember our true self, or the witness, part of the soul. Neti, neti. So it's like we're letting go of thoughts and feelings. We're letting go of all the ways we identify ourselves, our personality, our work, our name. Just cross the legs the other way and circling in the opposite direction. All of these parts of us associated with the ego. Neti, neti. Not this, not that. All right, let's gently roll over to one side. Come up into a comfortable seated position. You might like to sit up onto some support. You might be sitting in a chair. You might be cross-legged or kneeling, or legs stretched out in front of you. And again, we're conscious of the part of us that is the witness, just hovering above, aware of everything that we're thinking and feeling, watching how we're moving on our mat, how we're breathing. So sitting with a nice tall spine, softening your shoulders as we work with some very gentle neck stretches now. So take a deep breath all the way up your spine, right up to the crown top. And as you exhale, just drop your right ear to your right shoulder and take a breath there. And then breathe your head back to center. And left ear to left shoulder, and take a breath there. Just relaxing that right shoulder down. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. We'll stay here for 2 breaths this time. Inhale, center. And left ear to left shoulder. Draw the right shoulder down, 2 breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out, and we'll hold for 3 breaths. And left ear to left shoulder. 3 breaths. the head to center. And this time as you exhale, drop your head back. You might like to lift the shoulders up towards your ears now and just roll your head from one shoulder to the other, nice and slowly. And then just drop the shoulders, bring the head back to center, deep breath in. And bring your chin to your chest, draw the shoulders back and down, and just now rolling your chin slowly from one shoulder to the other. Good. And release. All right, let's bring the palms of the hands together and rub the palms until they feel nice and warm. We're going to work with our self-holding practice, which is a beautiful, calming, soothing practice. But if we've been feeling quite upset, anxious. So we're going to be placing the hands on 5 different areas, beginning with the sides of the head. You can do this with the eyes open or closed. We'll just take 3 slow breaths here. Do connect with some feelings, some painful feelings, or you might like to say to yourselves, neti, neti, not this, not that. When you finish the 3 breaths, there's no hurry. We'll place one hand on the forehead and the other hand on the back of the head. 3 breaths. And then we drop the hand at the back of the head to the heart space. 3 breaths here. And then the hand that's on the forehead drops down to the belly. 3 breaths. And then the last position is to bring the hand that's on the heart back to the back of the head. 3 breaths. We're going to fold forward now, so whether you're kneeling or sitting cross-legged, or you might be in a diamond shape, just gently coming forward. Just softening the shoulders, softening the upper back. You might like to blow the breath out through the mouth. Slowly come up. Now we're going to go straight into wheeling the body. So you might be in a diamond shape or sitting cross-legged. You might be visualizing yourself doing the practice. Hands just resting lightly on the knees. We're going to start off making large circles. So again, eyes can be open or closed. And imagine you're making the largest, slowest circle you can at the moment. Skin of the face soft, no tension in the mouth. Now, if your legs are crossed, you might change the cross of the legs. And then we're all going to start to reverse the circles. And we're going to actually now start to spiral back in towards the center. So imagine that each circle you make now is a little bit smaller than the previous one. Very slowly. Coming in towards the center. Shushumna Nadi, our subtle spine that runs parallel to our physical spine. You might visualize this as a cylinder of light. So as you make those smaller circles, you're now circling around this beautiful cylinder of bright, shining light. Smaller and smaller. And then letting that movement go. Take a deep breath in, sigh it away. Inhale, raise the arms out to shoulder height. And as we exhale, we're tipping over to the left side and holding this stretch for 3 breaths. To center. And tipping over to the right side, 3 breaths. And then coming back to center, then we're going to move into a twist. You can do an open or closed twist, turning to the left. So I'm in an open twist here. But if you want to be closed, then that right hand is to the outer edge of the left knee. 3 breaths. To center. And exhaling to the right. 3 breaths. All right, if we haven't already done so, let's just stretch the legs out in front. You might like to give the legs and the knees a little bit of a rub. And then we're going to give our feet a little bit of a massage. So just bend one leg, doesn't matter which one you're starting with, but keep the other foot flexed. We're trying to keep the spine as upright as possible and just start to massage the sole of the foot the heel, the arch of the foot, the toes. And then you can even saw between your toes. So just using the side of your hand, sawing in between each of the toes. Continuing to breathe. And when you've had enough with the foot, holding on to the toes, the other hand onto the knee, and we'll just work with some little gentle bounces. So starting to work now into the hip, lengthening up through the crown top. Continuing to visualize the witness part of yourself hovering just above you, aware of everything that's going on with a degree of detachment, just observing, noticing, watching. Now you can continue with this, or if you'd like to take it a little bit further, you can lift the foot up and hold on to and wrap this arm around and just start to swing that leg from side to side. Otherwise, just continuing this way. Good. And then we'll gently release and stretch that leg out, and let's swap sides. So first of all, a little bit of a massage for the foot. The other foot is flexed, lengthening up through the spine, the crown top sitting tall, face soft, mouth relaxed. Breathing. And soaring between the toes. And on top of that, you can start to bounce the knee up and down. If you like, you can lift it up, cradling the knee, the foot in the elbow creases, and swing the leg from side to side, a little bit stronger for the hip. Good. And then gently release, stretch that leg out. All right, let's bring the soles of the feet together now. So coming into Baddha Konasana. So if your knees are up quite high, you could take the hands behind you like this and just flutter the knees this way. Otherwise, you might hold on to your ankles, or your hands are around the toes, and allowing the knees to move up and down, up and down. Perhaps a gentle smile on your lips. And then just bring the knees in towards each other and just rest forward for a breath or two. Release. I'm going to just remove that support, and we're coming into table pose. So legs are hip distance apart. Just going to lift up once and hold table. You can decide how long you'd like to hold table. If you don't like table, you might drop down and work with bridge instead. Just lift up and hold bridge for as many breaths as you like. So chest is forward, hands are behind, and when we're ready, we'll inhale and lift the hips. Any neck issues, you're looking along the body, otherwise you can drop the head back and breathe. Resting forward when you do come down. No hurry though if you're still happy there. And then one more seated pose before we come up to stand. I thought we'd have a go at boat Navasana. So if you want to go a little more gently this morning, the hands might be behind you and you might just lift to here and just hold and breathe. Otherwise, we can hold on to our lower legs, and when we're ready, we can lift our feet up. So you can work with any variation of boat this morning. You can keep a hold of the legs, you can release the legs. Inner edge of the big toes touching, gaze in towards your big toes. You decide how long you stay here. When you've had enough, again, just gently lower the feet and rest forward for a moment. All right, when you're ready, no hurry. We're going to make our way up into a standing position. And we're going to start off by tapping the body all over. So when you're ready, you can come down to the top of the right foot and just start to tap all over the foot, the ankle, calf and shin, knee, your thigh, hip, around to the buttock, lower back, and the abdomen, rib cage area, chest on that right side, the shoulder, upper back, armpit, all the way down this right arm, into your hand and fingers. And then we'll go up to our neck, lightly on the neck and the jaw and the cheek and the ear, forehead and temple, top of the head, side of the head, back of the head. And then we'll swap over. Ear, forehead, cheek, jaw, the neck, upper back, shoulder, armpit, all the way down that left arm, down to your hand and fingers, chest, rib cage, abdomen, hip, buttock, lower back, and then down the thigh to your knee, calf and shin, ankle, and top of the foot. Good. Coming up, resting the hands over the heart. You might like to close your eyes for the moment. Couple of nice deep breaths here. Again, aware of that witnessing part of you hovering above. aware of everything that's going on, but there's no judgment with the witness. It is just noticing, watching, aware of what's going on. We're going to work with another very gentle flowing twist. As we breathe in, we're going to take the arms out to shoulder height. And as we exhale, we're going to turn to the left. Try to keep your hips facing forward. So the right hand goes to the left shoulder and we turn to look back towards the hand. And just take one breath here. Try to keep that right elbow at shoulder height as well. And then we breathe ourselves back to center. So try to keep the hips facing forward as we exhale, turning to the right and looking back towards our right fingers. One breath. Inhale, open wide and hands back to the heart. So we'll do two more of these. Inhale. Turning to the left, and this time we'll stay for 2 breaths. So you're gazing towards your left fingers, right elbow is at shoulder height. Breathe yourself back to center. And exhale, turning to the right, 2 breaths. Center. Hands to the heart. Breathe in. Turning to the left, 3 breaths. Center. And to the right, 3 breaths. Hips facing forward. And hands to the heart. Take a breath. Release the hands down. Inhale, raise the arms up, holding the right wrist with your left hand and leaning over to the left. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Inhale back to center and exhale over to the right. 3 breaths. Inhale back to center and exhale. All right. Let's take the legs wider apart now and we'll work with Trikonasana triangle. So turning your left toes around, right toes in a little bit. And we'll do the extra movement opening for our shoulders where we circle the top arm around if you'd like to. So breathe in as you raise the arms, turn to the left, leaning over and exhale. So you may just rest this top hand on your hip if that's better for your shoulder. Otherwise, we're circling this right arm around 3 times. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can watch your fingers as that arm circles around. And then we'll hold, either looking down towards your left big toe, forward or up, if that's okay for your neck. And breathe. Bring the head to center. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower the arms. And let's turn the other way. So deep breath in, turning to the right, and exhale. So if you'd like to, we're circling this left arm around 3 times. And then we're holding the pose, setting yourselves up, and breathe. To neutral. Inhale, come up. And exhale. Nearly lost my balance then. All right, release the legs, give them a little bit of a shake. We'll do another wide-legged pose. So take the legs wide, outer edges of the feet parallel. So either you can interlace your fingers behind you, and as we come forward, lift the arms up and overhead, or hands onto the buttocks, and you'll slide the hands down the backs of the legs. So deep breath in. Let's look up first. Open the front of the body and then exhale. See if you can come down with a flat back. So legs can be bent or straight as you come down. Either sliding the hands down the legs or lifting the arms up and over. And slowly coming up. Stretching the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale. That's the legs. Coming into Tadasana. I'd like to close the eyes just for a moment. Find your center. Again, any thoughts, any stories that you've sort of been replaying. Neti, neti, not this, not that. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Let's work now with the balance. So we'll start off all together and then you've got the option of taking a little bit further if you'd like to. So just open the eyes. We're going to shift the weight into the left foot to begin and pick up the right. So holding on to the knee and trying to keep that spine in Tadasana, lengthening up through the crown top. If you feel a bit wobbly this morning, you might have a hand on a wall, a table, a chair next to you. So you can stay here if you're happy here. If you'd like to take a little bit further, you can reach down, make a loop around your big toe, left hand onto it, and see if you can start to extend that leg. Whoops, might stay bent. Some of you might be able to straighten it. A bit wobbly this morning. It's probably that full moon in Pisces that's coming our way tonight. Breathe. And if you'd like to take it one step further, and this is a little bit extra challenging, we can swap the hands over. So you'll take your left hand to the outer edge of the right foot. You can take this right hand onto your hip or extend the arm behind, and you might turn to look back behind you. And breathe. Turning forward. Let's release that leg, come back into Tadasana. I'll do the next one sideways, might be easier. So now we're shifting the weight into the right foot and picking up the left. Trying to keep the shoulders drawing back and down, lengthening up through the crown top. So you're welcome to stay here or make a loop around your big toe, right hand onto the hip, endeavoring to straighten this left leg. Staying here or now swapping the hands over, left hand to your hip or extending the arm behind, and you might turn to look back towards that hand. Breathe. And come back to center. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now the next time you come forward, we'll move into down face dog pose. So dropping your arms, walk the hands forward, your feet back. If you like, you can come straight down into child pose, take a rest, otherwise we'll hold dog. Keep the breath flowing. Then you can either drop onto your knees and come into child that way, or come into plank. You'd like something a little bit stronger. And you might like to try lowering yourself down into Chaturanga Dandasana. And then just push yourself back into child, your favorite version of child. Take a rest. While you're resting, I'd like to share with you a beautiful little poem from the mystic poet and saint Kabir. Be quiet in your mind, quiet in your senses, and also quiet in your body. Then, when all these are quiet, don't do anything. In that state, truth will reveal itself to you. Gently come up now. We're going to go through 3 rounds of a kneeling salute. If you've had enough at this point, you might just visualize the salutes. Otherwise, coming along with me, I won't talk through the 3 rounds, so you just watch if you're not 100% sure, but I think you all are by this stage. So let's inhale. finish, just take 2 or 3 breaths. Coming now to sit, just working with one more little twist before we move into a little meditation and then Shavasana. So if you did an open twist last time, this time you might like to do a closed twist and vice versa. So sitting cross-legged, or you might have the legs stretched out in front of you. Deep breath in, raise the arms. So we're turning to the left, 3 breaths. Coming back to center when it's time, and twisting to the right, 3 breaths. And then slowly come back to center. Just going to sit for a few minutes in silence, work with a little meditation. So if you need to change your position or pop some socks on or wrap a scarf around your shawl or a blanket, please feel free to do that now. If you have a favorite mudra, you might like to incorporate that. If you're not sure, index finger and thumb lightly joined, palms can be up or down, and just softening the shoulders, softening the skin of the face, the eyes lightly closed or just with a soft downward glance. Perhaps turning the sides of the mouth up slightly. Beautiful passage from Rumi. The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. So as you sit quietly for the next few minutes, does your true self have a message for you this morning? What we sometimes call in yoga Atman. Or perhaps you might like to ask your true self a question. release the practice and come to lie down. If you prefer to stay seated, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, just come now to lie down for Shavasana. Make sure as you lie down that you are warm, that you have all the support you need to be able to rest, to give in and let go. Perhaps saying to yourselves a couple of times, may my body anchor me. May my breath carry me. May my mind steady me. May I return to who I am. May my body anchor me. May my breath carry me. May my mind steady me. May I return to who I am. I'd like to share with you a final poem from Dana Folds. Despite illness of body or mind, in spite of blinding despair or habitual belief, who you are is whole. Let nothing keep you separate from the truth. The soul, illumined from within, longs to be known for what it is, undying, untouched by fire or the storms of life. There is a place inside where stillness and abiding peace reside. You can ride the breath to go there. Despite doubt or hopeless turns of mind, you are not broken. Spirit surrounds, embraces, fills you from the inside out. Release everything that isn't your true nature. What's left, the fullness, light and shadow, claim all that as your birthright. So start now to deepen the breath as you bring your awareness back into your space, your room, your physical body. Wriggling your fingers and your toes. I'd like to have a bit of a stretch. And then rolling over to one side and making your way up into a comfortable seated position. We'll close our practice with one Om this morning. So if you'd like to join with me, bring the hands together at the heart. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Namaste. Thank you. Lovely to be back with you, to see so many of your faces. Lots of love. Take care. Enjoy the full moon tonight, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.